No, that's dumb. This is the most important part of the run, obviously. Fine, we'll just do this. Alright.
I like to say fuck.
It's fair.
I haven't practiced all week, so this will be great. I was going to practice before like during Earthbound.
Why are you doing this now?
Earthbound Runner's stuck in traffic, so it's this or nothing.
So here we are.
It's good?
Alright, let me know. If it's all good, I will start a countdown and we'll figure it out from there. Alright. So we'll start the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Pokemon Snap. I am TheBoyks. Unfortunately, we have to try and fill some time before Earthbound shows up, so we are filling it with Pokemon Snap a little earlier than scheduled. Pokemon Snap is essentially, an auto-scroller. Okay, this is not functioning quite the way I had hoped, but that's fine. So in Pokemon Snap, you need to take pictures of all the Pokemon, but you want to try and get specific point totals as you play to basically just not have to redo levels. I'm having a little bit of issue with my audio, and I use a lot of audio cues in this game, but we will try and work through it. So I'm going to try and look at this Butterfree, because Butterfree's a jerk. Take a picture of this Lapras. Butterfree should come back around. There we go. And we'll look at the sky. So that Butterfree has 3 different patterns. There's one on the left, one in the middle, one on the right. Ideally, you want it in the middle, so it'll move to the right, and you can set up your shot much easier. That one was on the right, so I had to wait for it to come back on the left. The reason I took a picture of the Lapras is it causes 2 Lapras to spawn later in the level, so I get a closer picture for more points. There's the Meowth. I'll try and hear the Meowth again. There we go, and we'll count to 4. And look down. The reason I'm looking at the sky so much is that the N64 console will lag continuously anytime Pokemon are on the screen. So you want to try and avoid looking at the Pokemon in the game that is designed explicitly to look at Pokemon as much as possible to get the console to not drop its frame rate. So we're looking up at the sky, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait a little bit until I see a Doduo pop out. So I'll lower my camera a little bit so I can see it. And then once I see it pop out, I'll look straight down and take a picture of Meowth very shortly, which will be right here. We need a picture of Kangaskhan. I'll wait a little bit. There we go, and Eevee. So ideally, I wouldn't have all these extra pictures, so my menuing is not terrible. But we have to take a bunch of extra photos due to some weird hiccups here and there. That Meowth isn't perfect or anything, but that'll be fine. This is bad menuing, but that's okay. And Eevee. Alright, so that should be good. So ideally, I should have at least 17,500. If not, we have a backup strat.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
My Butterfree was good though, so that's a very good sign. And Lapras wasn't bad. Meowth didn't troll me.
Wonderful.
Perfect. So I should have like 18? 17.2. That's a little low. I need 24,500. So I need to do math in my head. We might be okay, actually. I'm going to take 2 pictures of the Pikachu here and burn a photo. Wait for it to get on the electrode. Do a 2-hit combo. We're going to try and do this. I might be off by a couple points. Hopefully I'm not. If I am, it is... Oh my god. Okay. So every time you do anything in the menu, there's a slight delay before it will allow you to do anything else.
Wonderful.
Which is, of course, a little annoying. Okay, I'm way low. So that's bad. So we have a backup. The backup is I should have done the math a little bit better. But the backup is to go back into the stage and take a picture of Electabuzz. Get an extra 1,000 or so. The other backup is to restart the whole run, which is not a good idea. There we go.
Yes.
And this is partly due to the
Wonderful.
Not being able to practice as much as I was hoping for before this run. So excuse the jitters.
Welcome back.
Alright, so we got the apple. That's the important thing. That means we can move forward. The reason you need to get the apple is because you need the apple to open up the next stage. So you want to try and go into the stages as little as possible. Obviously, we had to go back into that stage, which was not ideal. But if you do it correctly, you will not be having to go back into the stage more than once at the beginning here. So we're going to bully this Electabuzz in order to run by him. I'm going to turn around, bully him one more time just so he stops. I don't really need to take another picture of this Electabuzz, but I'm going to try and get another better picture for slightly better points. So in order to unlock stuff in the game, you need to both have a specific point total for some items as well as a specific Pokemon count. So the next... There we go, we'll get that. The next count that we need is going to end during River, a couple stages from now. And the next point total that we need is 72... 500, I believe. Let's see. So I'm looking up at the ceiling again here, waiting for the Magikarp, which will be right around here. There we go. I already got a picture of the Zubat, so we don't need the second Zubat that'll come through the doors here. So let that one go by. Try and line up the bottom of the screen here and wait for this to move right about there. We'll look down. There we go. Take a picture of the Diglett here. When you take a picture of Diglett 3 times, it will spawn a Dug Trio. I think my Haunter was a little bit too far back as well, but that shouldn't affect the point total too much. Once you get past the river level and you unlock the Pester Ball, the points don't matter too much until basically the last stage before the last stage, so we just got to make sure we get enough point totals for that point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw an apple in the middle to attract the 2 and back. Throw an apple here to attract this one, which should hopefully work. They'll go into a circle. I'll throw an apple there to activate that. Take a picture of that while it's facing me, and then the Electrode will explode because I already started the explode animation before I took that photo to save a slight amount of time. So we'll go ahead and grab our photos we took earlier. I'm going to skip that Diglett on the bottom because I want a better picture, which I took later. And down. Okay. So we'll button mash through all the text here. Professor Oak telling us that our pictures are wonderful, or you were close.
Wonderful.
Which I always think the way he says you were close is kind of fun. We lost about 500 to 600 on that Haunter because I took it a little too early.
Wonderful.
49's fine though. As long as you're around 50,000, you're okay at the end of that stage, as far as the route goes. So now we're on Volcano. Volcano has some interesting things. So first things first, we will look down at the ground here and throw an apple with these Ponyta. Take a picture of the underside of... Oh, actually, the Rapidash, not Ponyta, obviously. Take a picture of the underside because for some reason Professor Oak thinks that is worth more points. We'll take a picture of Vulpix here, but we'll try not to look at Vulpix as long as we can because Vulpix is way too cute and it just lags the entire system. Also, there's 2 Vulpix on the ground. Don't look at them. It will destroy you. Definitely not a good idea to look at those Vulpix. We have a little bit of a setup here on the next section of the stage. We're actually going to exit the stage about halfway through, so we're not going to get the Charizard at the end, although you do that in 100%, but as this is an any percent category, we do not have to get everything, thankfully. Because there is quite a bit of RNG in this game if you are actually doing a 100% run, unfortunately. Nope, come over here. Thank you. I'll get a picture of this Charmander as it's eating, a picture of the Magmar as it's killing it. And then a picture of Charmeleon as it turns around. It goes after the apple. There we go, the 3-hit punch. I'm going to zoom in there to cause the game to lag a little bit less when it loads this area, and throw an apple with the Moltres. And then, because I don't have enough points, I'm going to wait for Moltres to do this, and then exit the stage. So that should be all the points I need in that stage, and all the Pokemon I need. And the Vulpix could have been a little bit closer, but to save a little bit more time, it's better just to not look at it. Alright, so the Charmander was good, so as long as the Charmeleon's not bad, perfect. Alright, so that was a really good stage. This brings me up to 24 and 69. I need 72,500, so the next stage, normally I could just get a Poliwag if I had a little bit more points. Since you need... the Poliwag will give you 2,000, but I'm a little bit lower, so I need to get a picture of the Bulbasaur a little bit later as well, and then we enter the stage. That wastes about 10 seconds. Alright, so there's the Poliwag. We'll throw an apple right at the stump. Get the Bulbasaur to come out. I gotta wait a little bit because I accidentally hit it. Alright. This has been a little bit sloppy of a run, but hey, we're getting there. Alright, so that should be more than enough to get the Pester Ball. Since the 2,300 wouldn't have been enough for 72.5. Now the next number I need is 130, but that's not till the almost last level. Alright, we got the Pester Ball, so we'll go back through River now. Hopefully Slowpoke will not troll the heck out of me. So in the any percent run, this is the only level that has any RNG. At the end of the level, there will be 3 spots that can spawn either a Shelder or a Cloyster. If we do not get the Cloyster, we're going to have to lose about 45 seconds to a minute at the end of the next stage in order to get our Pokemon count correct. So hopefully that just works out in our favor. So I'm going to wait until right about this bend here in the water and try to position this so the Slowpoke... I hit the water. That's potentially bad. I did hit the Slowpoke on the head though, that's kind of funny. Hey, Slowpoke actually noticed the sign. So that Slowpoke is really derpy sometimes, and you'll throw the apple and he'll just sit there and stare at it. It's kind of awful. So we'll get a 3-hit combo here, 360 no-scope. Get the Slowpoke, get the Shelder, get the Slowbro, and we're out. So next we have Metapod, which will be up in the little forested leafy area up here in the sky. We'll have to kind of wait a little bit till we get over there. How's it doing, beautiful people? Hope you're enjoying this nice and relaxing Pokemon Snap run. Alright, we missed it. There we go. Okay, so if we get both of those, it's worth slightly more points, because the way it determines points in the game is if the Pokemon is center frame, it's worth more points. If it's facing the camera, it's worth more points. And if there are more Pokemon of the same type in the photo, it's worth more points. Also, sometimes Professor Oak just randomly decides it's not worth any points, and you get nothing. It's kind of weird. So there's a Shelder. I'm going to try and listen for the Cloyster rather than look at it, but it's a little bit hard to hear with all the stuff going on in the background. So Shelder, Cloyster? Nope. Alright, we got unlucky. So there's no other way to get Cloyster without redoing the stage. So in this case, what we have to do is we have to lose about 45 seconds to a minute at the end of the next stage, Cave, in order to get a picture of Jinx. And our point total is going to suffer a little bit, so we're going to have to make up for that in Valley. A little bit unlucky. That happens maybe 1 out of every 4 runs. Or less, actually. Now that I think about it. But we really needed 7 Pokemon in that stage, more than the 2 we already had. At least the point totals are good. So that'll make up a little bit. So I should be at 90 something? Okay, 93. That's fine. So now we unlocked Cave. Cave is a stage that can be a little bit trolly. based on the patterns of Weeping Bell later on in the stage. So first I'm going to look over here. There's a Grimer that will spawn after the Zubat goes up. We'll take a picture of that and then look up at the cave sky again. Oh man, that is a nice roof in that sky right there. Oh man. If you look a little bit to the left, this looks kind of like a ghost. Okay, so we're going to look down. This little ledge, because we took a picture of that Grimer, there will be a Grimer that spawns here. So we're going to take 2 pictures of it. Actually, I throw 2 Pester Balls at it and then take a picture. There we go, that should turn it into muck. We'll throw a Pester Ball at one of these as well. Get a picture of Ditto, picture of muck, and look back up. So next we have to get a picture of Jigglypuff and Coughing. They'll fly by. And then we have Weeping Bell, Victor Bell, and Jinx to end the stage. It's a little bit longer. There goes the Jigglypuff. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Are we looking at it? No. Okay, we should probably look at it. So Jigglypuff and Coughing are going to come back across the screen towards us. We're going to wait a little bit longer. There we go. There we go. Get a picture of Weeping Bell. Don't troll me. Okay, he's trolling me. But that's okay, because we hit him, and he landed in the water. Okay, perfect. That normally would save me time here, because I could just exit the stage and take a picture of Bell, but since we didn't get a Cloyster, we're going to be here a little while, so how's it going, chat? Nice evening up here in the cave. Also, there's a Pikachu flying over there on a Zubat, don't worry about it. So I could take a picture of Jinx while I'm up here, but the game won't recognize it as a Pokemon, even though it's spawned and shows a red reticle, until I'm right about where this ledge is. So we'll wait a little bit, and there we go. It'll say Jinx on the screen, it'll show a red reticle, it'll take the picture, but Professor Oak will not have any of that, and will claim it is not a Pokemon. I don't know why. Okay, we're out of the stage then, finally. So Muck wasn't facing the right way. There's nothing I can do about that. Muck just decides to go where he wants to go. So we lost a little bit of points there, too. Jinx is never going to give us a lot of points. I have 112, so you get 18,000 in the next stage. I can get 4,000, that's 7,000, that's 15. I need 18. So I need to get at least 5 photos, potentially 6, depending on the photos I take. So we will compensate. So what I need to do first, I need to throw a Pester Ball at this little jumping Magikarp, because he has a really smug look on his face, and I am not okay with that. This is a pro-bullying stream, remember? If you're a Magikarp, you deserve that. I'm sure he's fine. So, now that we've done that, that'll set up a photo later. We're going to take a couple photos here just to get our point total higher. I'll throw a Pester Ball there, get that, get the Sandshrew. It didn't red reticle, but that's okay. It was center frame. And then we'll look up here. So what we need to do now is we need to get Sandshrew and Graveler then, which will be right up ahead. You can see them now, but they're not worth any points from this distance, obviously. So we're going to look up a little bit, let them spawn, or go back into their hiding holes. And what we need to do is we need to throw a Pester Ball slightly below where these 2 Geodudes are. Okay, it didn't work, but that's okay. And take a picture of those. For some reason, the hitbox is really weird on Geodude. It looks like the hitbox should be obviously right where the middle body is, but it's actually slightly below it for some reason. So we're looking up at the sky here a little bit more just to kind of make this go a little bit quicker. There's a waterfall. It's very pleasant. And I'm going to look over here for absolutely no reason. Oh, it's our friend. Well, we can't have that. There we go, that'll show him. Aha, now what? Oh. Oh, I see. So that's how you spawn Gyarados. We'll wait till he does his little hydro pump thing and get a photo. Let's wait, I think about 4,000. And we'll look look up at the sky again a little bit until we get down to the water pool. Obviously, a lot of the game, at least on N64 anyways, is involving trying to reduce as much light as possible. But there's also a lot of nice little time saves here and there. There's a lot of routing, a lot of keeping track of numbers in your head when you're playing. One thing I want to point out real quick while I have a little bit of time here, the community around Pokemon Snap is one of the best communities I've ever seen for speedrunning. If you were even remotely interested in this game, even just like casually trying to learn the speedrun and just play through it, go ahead and talk to the people that do speedrun this game. GameFan Dan, Quo, Spark, although I don't know if he streams as much anymore, but they're all just really awesome, really friendly people, and they're super easy to talk to. This, I think, was my second serious speedrun, and they were incredibly helpful. So I'm going to look up at this and wait until that one spawns. There's a little black circle there. If you aim directly at it and then get the timing right, you can hit that Mankey early, so you don't have to wait to go around the corner. And that saves you like 5 or 6 seconds. There's a pretty consistent setup involving a black circle and then waiting for a line and a circle to spawn on the other side, and then just look straight up. So we're now at Professor Oak's hidden hubby hole of whatever he does out here. And he's talking about Pokemon signs and some weird pink Pokemon I've never heard of, which may or may not be behind a truck somewhere. So now we need to find a bunch of Pokemon signs. We already found this weird mountain that looks kind of like Dugtrio, so that's a good start. It's nice that you can take a photo of that at the beginning of the stage rather than after he tells you about the Pokemon signs, and it still counts.
Wonderful.
So I got 5,000 extra points. I only needed 3,000, but there isn't really an easy photo for that I know of.
Wonderful.
So we're going to be like 3,000 over, 4,000 over. Okay, I could have skipped one photo then.
Welcome back.
But the important thing is now that we have that, we get the dash engine, which makes us go quicker. And now we just need to go back through each stage and get the Pokemon sign. So we're going to make these 3 stages a little bit faster than this. So about midway in the stage, kind of where the Weeping Bell was, if we turned around, there were these glowing stones. I actually didn't know about these as a kid until I looked it up in the Nintendo Power article, I think, about them. It took me forever to find that as a kid. But when you take a picture of it with red reticle, it shows a Mewtwo, so that's one of the Pokemon signs we need.
Wonderful. Wait. Welcome back.
Now that we got that, we also got the Poke Flute, which we conveniently need on the next free stage in River. So we'll go a little bit quicker here and go up to where we didn't look before, but there's also a Cubone statue on the right with a Vileplume. We'll go ahead and wake up the Vileplume using the Poke Flute, and then exit the stage again once the smoke clears. If you don't wait for the smoke, it doesn't count the photo.
Yes.
Alright, only a couple more to go, and then the final boss, which I'm sure is going to be great, because I have not practiced it this week, which is fantastic. Hopefully it's not too trolling, but it might at least be entertaining. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw Pester Balls into the little volcano hole here. The hitbox on this is super weird, but if you hit it sort of somewhere around the general area of it, a coughing will spawn, and that is your Pokemon sign.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. Welcome back. Yes.
Alright, tunnel. So this is the longest restage, and it also has some speed strats to try and get through the stage a little bit quicker. Considering the dash engine will make you move up in the level faster, then some Pokemon will spawn. If you don't set it up correctly like we just did, you'll get hit by the Pokemon and have to wait, which we'll have to do because we got hit. This is going well. Alright, so I don't want to get hit by the Electabuzz behind, but I can't go too far forward, otherwise that will hit me. Okay, so if you do that correctly, you can just sneak by the Electrode and then bop that Electabuzz, and the Electabuzz will fall down and you go right by him. So wait for the Pikachu to get closer to the egg over here, turn on this, and then try to get out of this room as quickly as possible because it lags the game really poorly. Wait till I hear the Zapdos. There we go. Just to make sure it actually spawned before I exit. So now I just need to... The power's on, so that'll turn on a light here, which gives us a pincer photo. We'll exit the stage. One more to go.
Yes. Oh, wonderful.
Okay. Oh, okay. Last restage. This one's the easiest. You just look straight up. You can actually see the Pidgey spawn using the dash engine, which is kind of funny. And then there's a little rock formation here on the left we didn't look at earlier because we were looking up at the sky. We'll take a picture of that. Exit the stage. And now we just have the final level and we're done. So time will be coming up probably within about 2 minutes. So now that we found all the Pokemon signs, it led to Rainbow Road, which means this will now turn into a Mario Kart clone. If you've never played Pokemon Snap before, we're about to play Mario Kart.
Yes.
And in this case, the blue turtle shell is Mew. So Mew is really, really trolly, and the hitbox is really awful. So we need to hit Mew 6 times to take a photo of it. And it will spawn and then try to actively dodge your shots, please. Okay. You can like sort of... there's ways to like know where it's going to be immediately, so you can just throw directly at where it's going to go. If you try to aim where it's at, it'll move out of the way. But sometimes Mew's just not very friendly. So 2 more hits to go. Also, the hitbox is really weird. Like, you'll aim above or below it ever so slightly, and it looks like it's going to hit mid-center, and it doesn't. Sort of a bad pattern, because it was way off to either side rather than middle, but that's okay. We just get one more photo, a little speech from Professor Oak, and we're done. I didn't bother taking a center frame photo. That doesn't matter at all, as long as you got the picture of the Pokemon there, since our points don't matter anymore. So Professor Oak will let us know that we're done with the game. It'll say saving, and then once saving comes up, that is time.
See you.
It's done. Time.
26:34.
Okay, that was awful. But we finished. So obviously there's a lot that went wrong there. The any percent run of the game is a lot more consistent than the 100% run, but there's definitely some things that can still pop up every single run, and that's why I think it's so entertaining. Just because as a player, it feels like a different experience every time, even though it is sort of like an auto-scroller. But that's Pokemon Snap. Check out the community. Make sure to say hi to people. They're all awesome, and if you're interested in getting into speedrunning, this is a great game to do that. Thank you.